And this just in, folks, I am extremely excited to announce that local talent, Charlia Boyer, has just been accepted into the Doctorate of Education program at North Central University. One important question for you, Ms. Boyer. How have you made an interest in learning part of your academic journey?
Well, Dirk, you know what? That's a good question. And, I've always had this extreme passion and excitement for learning new things, whether it was a life lesson or academic. And as I grew in knowledge, I wanted to share everything that I learned with anybody who would listen. My first teaching job ever was teaching 5th grade. Now, these kids were absolutely amazing. And one day I was teaching math, and one of my students raised her hand and she asked what math had to do with life and what good was this going to do for her future. I thought about that question for a minute. Then I gave her a few examples, such as money examples and measurement examples, but I felt like I needed more. Something to challenge her critical thinking. It was at that moment that I made it my mission to not only make learning interesting, but fun. Whether it was a video game or a song that they liked, I would incorporate it into their learning just to keep things interesting. By the end of the year, they ended up writing a book, and it was a collection of stories that were based on their life experiences or just stories they wanted to write. And it was actually published and given to them for their 5th grade graduation gift. A few years later, I started teaching high school theater and 10th grade English. And in teaching those two subjects, I found myself doing the exact same thing I did with my 5th graders, finding ways to relate to them that would make their learning experience interesting. At that time, social and racial issues were really high, so I chose a book entitled The Hate You Give as part of their reading. At the end of the unit, they were to create an interpretation of what they learned from the book and relate it to life experiences. I allowed them to think outside the box by giving them several options of how they wanted to express what they learned. These kids came up with some amazing results. Due to the fact that I'm a writer and a storyteller, I always find ways to make learning interesting by telling a story. Because where there's interest, there's excitement. My goal is to continue making learning interesting, enjoyable, exciting, and fun for me and for every student that I come in contact with, no matter if it's a young person or an adult. Learning can open up a whole new world of possibilities that we may never have thought of before. So why not make it interesting?
There you have it, straight from Miss Boyer herself. And I can't wait to have you back on the show with your new title, Dr. Boyer.
I am forever grateful for all of the things that she's taught me. Her lessons still play back in my head to this day, and I know that I would not have been able to accomplish the things that I have accomplished without her help and her guidance.
I thank you for making it fun. Without you, I probably wouldn't even be the person I am today.
Hey, bye.
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 Bye, Miss.